field's consumer behavior. And, I think there's a lot of interesting topics. I mean, right now I'm doing a lot of work on brand heritage, the history of the brand and how that works. And that's certainly, I guess my current favorite. My first research topic, which I still am researching actively, and I kind of work on things and then go back and forth, take a little break, work on it. Basically, how children learn to be consumers. And what I looked at it in individualistic cultures like the U.S., collectivist cultures such as India, Japan, and what I found was that in individualistic cultures, children are expected to be consumers faster. Whereas in collectivists, they're expected to learn consumption slower. That was basically the bottom line. I've also done a number of projects in sports through the years. It's kind of a hobby of mine, but it was basically, why do people go to football games? So we found three types of people. It was based on Kilman's strength of attitude framework. So some feel more strongly about the team than others. And what we found is that some people just go along for the ride. They're going because they want to go for the camaraderie. They want the tailgating. They're going with their friends, maybe their boyfriend, girlfriend. Then you got a second group that wants to identify with the winner. So they want to, when the team wins, they go. But if the team doesn't win, they don't care that much. And then we found another group that's really internalized. Cleveland Browns fans would be a good example. I mean, they've had a lot, and they're still there, and they love the city, they love the team. So those are the sort of sports things we've looked at. I've been looking at a lot of heritage recently with my colleagues, and one of the things we did was actually heritage in sports. So we looked at what is it with a sports team that creates heritage, and essentially when is it most valuable, and how does it relate to sponsorship? And, we found a lot of things. I mean, obviously the athletes and coaches are prominent. We also found that it's not just the athletes it's not like even current athletes can have heritage for team because they're very well known with the team for years. It's a little complicated now with sports, but that's still teams a lot of people do play for the same team for a long time. We also found things like rituals, like the Oregon O, walking through the Grove and Ole Miss. I mean, things like that. And we found a number of other things. The stadium, a number of things contribute to heritage. Basically, it's the vibrancy. It's the idea that you have different colleagues that have different perspectives. You have students that bring in the youth element, which is really helpful. You get a different perspective. Certainly, the older I get, the more important that is to have a perspective that's a little different. You learn about things that I just find it a vibrant environment where you can learn a lot. There's obviously the basics that you want to teach them of marketing, the basic, segmentation, positioning, et cetera. But more importantly, it's kind of how to approach a problem and how to think it through. And then also, I also feel that another part of education is we're not just a trade school. I think it's important that you learn a little bit about the world. So, I mean, I'm a consumer behaviorist, so you should know, I want you to learn a little bit about, various theories on how people behave and human behavior. And I think that's an essential part of an education. I think there's the practical element, which is important, but there's also kind of the learning element.